Hello, let's go. Lesson 149. Let's read the verbs. To suffer, suffered. To accompany, accompanied. To swell, swelled, swollen. To demand, demanded. For example, my grandfather suffered from diabetes. My sister accompanied me to the doctor. So I broke my finger and it was swollen. So they demanded a lot of work to do. Let's go. Vocabulary: contract, option, environment, stove, furnished, unfurnished, cupboard, cabinet, closet, tub, wall, fence, demanding, pregnant, pregnancy, prenatal, twin, misery, sore throat, migraine, nodules, diabetes, hug, ladder, complaint. Okay, for example, if you are going to rent a house to go during carnival, do you prefer a furnished or a non-furnished house? Furnished house when there is sofa, fridge, okay? When there is furniture, and unfurnished when there isn't any kind of furniture. And you, which do you prefer? A furnished or a non-furnished house if you rent to spend carnival? And you, do you have a tub in your bathroom? Do you have a tub? So, who is very demanding? Your mother or your father? Now, so when a woman, okay, so is going to have a baby, so she is pregnant. So the period of pregnancy lasts 9 months, okay? And it's important to take some examinations like prenatal when the woman is pregnant. For example, sometimes a woman has twin babies, okay? And you, when was the last time did you have a sore throat? Do you always have migraine? When do you have nodules? Is there anybody in your family who suffers from diabetes? Now, expressions: backyard, neighborhood, keep in mind, real estate agency, cosigner. So a backyard is a place in our house, okay? A space in the house, okay? Where we can play, where we can maybe throw a party. And neighborhood, so neighborhood is where we live, all right? So, for example, in my neighborhood, there is a supermarket, there is a drugstore, there is a square, all right, bakery. What about your neighborhood? Do you live in a calm or an agitated neighborhood? To keep in mind, it means to have in mind. So nowadays we have to keep in mind that we should take care of our health because of the virus. All right, we should keep in mind that we need to be very careful. Real estate agency, ok? Então aqui no caso é imobiliária. For example, if you want to rent a house, you should go to a real estate agency when you want to buy, all right? Sometimes to rent a house, you need a cosigner, okay? It means if you don't pay for the rent of the house, the person is going to pay for you. Imagine the situation, okay? Cosigner. And you, if your best friend asks you to be a cosigner, would you be a cosigner? Imagine, because if a person doesn't pay, you have to pay. Now let's go to grammar. Let's talk about present perfect tense. Let's go. It hasn't rained for weeks. We haven't visited them for months. I haven't had this much fun for a long time. He hasn't checked his emails for days. They haven't been to the States since 2008. She hasn't said anything since she found out about it. She hasn't driven since the accident. I haven't seen her since her birthday. So this is present perfect. Do you remember? When there is an action that happened in the past, when you don't mention the definite time, there isn't a definite time in the past. So the structure is subject verb to have in the present and the principal verb in the past participle. All right, here it is in the negative. We use for with present perfect. For, it means the duration. 4 weeks, 4 months, for a long time, 4 days. Okay? Por, the duration. Now, since, there is a different idea. It means when the action started in the past. Alright? It means when the action started in the past. They haven't been to the States since 2008. Ok? Então, eles não estiveram nos Estados Unidos desde 2018. Foi quando a ação que se iniciou no passado. Alright? So, this is the difference. Duration and when the action started in the past. Now, we are going to train. Alright? The structure of present perfect. Example. I haven't seen her since June. You are going to repeat. I haven't seen her since June. Now substitute last summer. Then you say, I haven't seen her since last summer. Did you understand? You are going to repeat the original sentence and you are going to substitute for the word given. Now you, I haven't talked to him since Thanksgiving. Christmas. She hasn't washed her clothes since last Saturday. Week. He hasn't written back since our last conference meeting. I haven't traveled overseas since 2009, 2012. I haven't exercised since last week. Month. It hasn't rained since May. June. You are going to choose 3 sentences and send me by WhatsApp, okay? Repeating the original sentence and with the substitution from the sentence that you choose. Now let's train more. Example. I have known him for a year. Then you change into negative. I haven't known him for a year. Then ask a question. Have you known him for a year? First you change into negative and then into interrogative. She has been sick for a week, 4 days. Negative interrogative. The kids have been quiet for hours. She has tried to get pregnant for a year. She has felt nodules for hours. I have followed the team for 2 seasons. Now you're going to do the same. Choose 3 sentences and change into negative and interrogative. Alright? So now let's go to the next lesson. You are going to do the maze. Alright? You are going to join the words to make a sentence. And now I'm going to ask you questions. Okay? We have to search for the answers. What type of materials can be recycled? Which colors commonly represent each recycled material? What are the 3 best universities in our country? What does BRIC stand for? Okay, what's the meaning? What does TOEFL stand for? What does TOEIC stand for? What does SOS stand for? What does MBA stand for? What does UNO stand for? Where is the Taj Mahal located? When was the Taj Mahal built? Why was the Taj Mahal built? So you have to search to answer these questions. Now let's train more. Example, I haven't talked to her. Then you say, I haven't talked to her. Then you repeat, I haven't talked to her. since Friday. Then you say, I haven't talked to her since Friday. Alright? Now you, it hasn't snowed since Christmas. She hasn't had prenatal care since January. I haven't felt nauseous since last weekend. I haven't seen him since his birthday. They haven't been here since Easter. You do the same. You choose 3 sentences to send me by WhatsApp. Now, your opinion. What's your opinion? You are going to give your opinion. So we should spend more time with family than at work. What do you think about? Do you agree? You don't agree? Okay, you are going to give your opinion. Now I'm going to ask you some questions. How can we help preserve the environment? Would you like to have twins? Do you help the poor in your community? How can we help to end poverty in the world? So you have to choose 2 questions and send me by WhatsApp, okay? Answering these questions. Don't forget to send me.